everybody doing tonight? All right, now before I begin, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to everybody who helped make this event possible and who gave me the tremendous honor and privilege of being able to get up here and speak in front of you guys today. I am truly honored and privileged. Thank you. Now, I think that before I jump in all I want to talk about, it's important for you guys to understand a little bit about who I am. So, my name is Alexi. I'm a junior majoring in American Studies with a concentration in race and ethnicity. I'm also a Greek Orthodox Greek American from Newton, Massachusetts. And I'm also a white heterosexual male from an upper middle class family with 2 college educated parents. English is my first language, and I have full functionality of all my limbs and my brain, even though some of my professors might beg to differ slightly on the last one. Now, I mentioned all those elements of my identity because that's exactly what they are. Elements of my identity that have played a part, some more significantly than others, in shaping who I am today. I also mention them to highlight my privileges and how, before having gotten an A on any final exams, without working an 80-hour week, and before having put in any effort towards success in my life, I already had a tremendous amount of opportunity to succeed before even learning how to talk. And when I say privileges, I'm talking about the multitude of everyday events, places, or interactions I have in which I'm not hindered because of my race, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic status. These can include anything from being able to walk alone at 1 a.m. without the fear of getting harassed or attacked because I'm a man, holding hands with a significant other and not getting called anything demeaning for my sexual orientation, and trusting that in any class when we talk about race or diversity, my classmates won't be looking or glancing over at me to speak on behalf of my people. Now, while it was hard on some level to acknowledge these privileges, I was fortunate enough to have been made aware of them through something I came to love, and that's music, gospel music. At Newton North High School, sophomore year, I became a member of our gospel choir. Now, for those of you guys who don't know about gospel music, it's a music that originated in a largely black and largely Christian culture. So for my high school choir to be largely white and Jewish, race and religion were very much questions that had to be dealt with. For me, the more involved I became in performing, arranging, and even composing gospel music, and the more people of color, predominantly black people, that I talked to, the more my own race became significant. My being white was no longer something that could be overlooked or simply explained away under the guise of color blindness. Not only was I made aware of the significance of my skin color, but my eyes were also opened to the very real and troubled state of race relations in our country and the degree to which racism is still very much alive today. As a freshman at Tufts, I, like you guys, sat in on the Many Stories panel, hearing Alana, a white senior involved in race issues at Tufts, speak about the state of race relations on the Tufts campus and how much work there was to be done here. After listening to her and paying attention to my own life on campus, I began to see and hear racism operating in both very blatant and very covert ways. I could not sit by and watch my community, my Tufts community, a community that I love for striving to always become more of a community, deteriorate into complacency. I listened to friends of mine, usually white, speak about how extraordinary our diversity is here at Tufts, while my friends of color disagreed and spoke regularly about being singled out because of their race. I hear white friends talk about self-segregation in terms of, well, why do all the Asians or blacks or Latinos sit together in the cafeteria, while my friends of color astutely pointed out that when a table is all white, no one seems to notice or ask, why are all the white kids sitting together? And then I hear white friends of mine get instantly defensive when even the hint of racism came up, while for my friends of color it was almost always a, yeah, duh, what's new? From where I stood, I felt I had no other choice but to get involved in groups and activities at Tufts that bring people together to talk openly and honestly about race and racism in our world. Now, you may be sitting there in your seat, 2 days into your freshman year, wondering, okay, I just moved in 2 days ago. I haven't even made any real friends yet, so isn't it a little early for this lanky white guy up here to be going on and on about race and racism at Tufts? And to this, I'd say, in case there was any confusion, welcome. You guys have all now become members of the Tufts community. Congratulations. I'll bake you guys a cake or something to talk after. But along with becoming members of this community, now comes the responsibility you have to make this place a better place for everyone and not just yourselves. I urge you to take a long, hard look at who you are, who you have been, and who you wish to become. In my case, when I started to ask these questions, I realized so much of my own ignorance, surrounding not just race, but gender, class, sexual orientation, etc., that I'd absorbed through classes that taught a history of people that looked like me, and not just a history, but a glorified history of straight white males. Now, if there's anything I want you to take away from what I'm saying here tonight, it's that in order to really start learning, I had to and continue to have to unlearn a lot of what I've been taught. So, as many new things as you learn here at Tufts, remember, unlearning is as important, if not more so, than learning. Thank you guys, and welcome to Tufts. Given the fact of all the way that, you know, the things that our race dictates for us, and those subtle ways that it plays out, the culture centers are designed to give those students, the students of color and the other groups, a safe space. In a place that's, largely white, it's necessary. And I think because of all those reasons and the way it's still played out today, those are central. And certainly it's not only those culture houses that exist, because for a student of color walking around on this campus to see, this is talking from the students of color that I've talked to be surrounded by white people pretty much the majority of the time, that's the purpose of the culture centers. And I hope that at least is the beginning of an answer.